Well, Cowboy Jim. And, oh gee, don't look too close. Not a good thing. Yeah, 1204. I don't mean at lunch. No, no, no. I went on, well, I would call it a rant, but my father doesn't. He calls it a schooling. Horses receive a schooling when they've misbehaved, and well, I guess one of the joys of the schooling is that, well, one, the horse realizes something's kind of not right, and question is, for a horse I think is a lot smarter sometimes. I question that a horse has the intellectual prowess to wonder, well, what was it I did wrong? Well, I think horses sometimes are a whole lot smarter than we are. Anyways, well, I wasn't very gentle, was I? Imagine, my Hutterite friend. The church he attended said his wife had died because he didn't have enough faith. I guess that's the only way they could exonerate themselves, maintain the reputation of the church. Make sure their pride wasn't injured. And so they took and beat a man who had broken away from years and years of tradition. He had enough guts to leave the colony and try to make it out amongst the English. Amish people down in the States, wonderful movie. Father-in-law, his son had passed, and the father-in-law told the lady, his daughter-in-law and grandson, you be careful when you're out amongst the English. Well, when Hutterite children decide they want to expand their horizons, it is a costly thing for them personally. And for them to have enough guts to break away, it's quite remarkable. And Hutterite people have a very strong belief in God. And they're real. I don't want to speak for them. Not my right. I'll tell you this though. The purity of working communally for the better of all. Yeah, few of the guys, they float to the surface, kind of, shall we say, and they maybe do not behave themselves as well as a wonderful black outfit. I never did understand how they had such shoulders. But you know, I don't need to. That's their life. And a tribute to the ladies that are on the colony who make their coats and everything else. So I asked the Lord, I said, well, gotta be a little more gentle. After all, this is old Cowboy Jim. I'm no pacifist. Oh my. Thank you, Wayne. This could be 108. When we hit 110, I'm going to stop talking about numerical values because they're not worth that much. But if I can touch your heart, then the video's well worth it. Hey, I've already been in bed for 3 hours or more. Didn't have a lot of company, children. None. Just Fox News. That's okay. I'd rather be in bed by myself than in bed with the wrong woman. I bet there are a lot of women think the same thing, only, well, who knows? It doesn't matter. You know, we have dreams and schemes, great intentions. True joy. True joy. Oh, stuff doesn't always turn out right. Can't have everything go your way, my way, all the time. We wouldn't grow much. We wouldn't learn much. Wouldn't develop. Well, I hope you're not watching this in 20 minutes, because boy, oh boy, not necessarily the best thing you could be doing. Would indicate a little bit of a life of, oh geez, doesn't that word celibacy float to the front of my mind? I'm Irish, I'm sorry, children. Anyways, I'm not always in a position to have an axe to grind. It's a good thing. Never did meet anyone who was, generally speaking, with a chip on their shoulder. Oh dear Lord, I have had quite a few chips on my shoulders. Well, it didn't do me any good. Perhaps I learned a bit. I'm not sure. I don't know if you were benefited from that last video. You know, the hardest thing that I do when I make a video is I choose the title. And if you study my videos, not so much the content, but you study the relationship between the title and the number of views, there is a direct correlation there. I hope, I tell you, I hope the content lives up to the title. The title fulfills an understanding of the content. I'm not sure. Do you know something? This would be a strange thing. Yes, this is, well, it's after 12, so this is the 1st of December. In 15 days, I'm going to court. I hope. Supposed to be. I was beaten. Can you imagine? Well, you may be able to if you don't know me that well. I let myself be beaten by an angry young man. What a dummy. He was so upset with me. Well, we're going to see on the 15th. My son, he says he's going to plead innocent. I said, how could the man plead innocent? I mean, they got him on video. They got him just walking real fast across the yard at the mining company I worked at, which will remain nameless. If they had realized their name probably would have remained nameless, they might still have me in their employ. They canned him that night. And when I offered a couple of weeks later to not come back, they sure did thank me. It's remarkable. You're a value, an integral member of the team. Oh, not for long. Just till you're not needed. Make you wonder. Kind of like that ex-Hutterite in the church. See, the ex-Hutterite, because his wife died from cancer, became an embarrassment to the church that he attended. That church put forth the idea that if you have enough faith, you can be wealthy. You can speak through faith and create your own reality. There's somewhat of a semblance of truth to that. Scripture, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Job said, 2nd or 3rd chapter, he said, the thing I feared has come upon me. So, in some small way, there is some small truth to faith can contribute to the making of your own reality. But you know, it does not live up to its PR. I had a preacher one time, he didn't like me at all. Calgary, I mean, he didn't like me. I had a dear friend, a doctor. He said, don't you trust that man? Don't you trust that preacher? Doesn't that make you wonder? Don't you trust that preacher? What's happened? What's happened? When there's no difference, no real difference between a preacher and base feelings of jealousy? Jeez. Don't you trust that preacher? Oh, you be careful around that one. Children, don't you ever be careful around me. You think something, you say it. I won't hit you. Well, I guess it depends if you're a big enough man and what you say represents a lady or an abused child in a rude and impolite way. You know, that's when you have a chance to beat the hell out of old cowboy Jim like that young man. I really found it kind of interesting. That young man who I allowed to beat me right in the main entrance to the mining company, right in the mine. Fighting was against the law. He come walking up to me in Independent Grocers. If you're not from Fort Mac, it's an independent chain of grocery stores. Probably more of them than the dependent grocery stores. Oh, jeez. And he kind of caught me off guard. And he got, you know how people who are bigger, I think that idiot was maybe six. He said, "Don't you dare tell people what I've done to you." Oh, that's cute. Don't you dare tell people what I have done to you. He said, "I'll have you know, there will be serious consequences." RCMP, they interviewed me about that. And a little microphone on the table. He says, "Jim, what did you say to him?" I said, "I can't say that." I said, I said I'm pretty quick. I'm not making up any excuses. Well, this may come as a terrible surprise to you. I told him quite a bit in a very short span of time. And, his finger was still waving in my face. Would have told him too much. Shouldn't have told him anything. Should have drop-kicked him right in the head. Ooh. Oh, Jim, turn the other cheek, son. No. 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 I truly enjoyed doing that tape about my brother. You want to know something? I can't even remember his name. It's not because I'm old. I'm not old. Still feel like 40. I act like younger. A bit silly. I think that it's critical that we represent the best we can the meaning that God has placed in our hearts as to His existence. The RCMP officer, not that long ago, he said, Jim, you gotta tell me what he said to that young man. I said, boy, it wasn't polite, son. He said, he says, you're gonna have to tell me. Well, didn't I wax eloquent for a few minutes? Yeah, I did. That's that Irish attitude that I have not yet left at the cross. I probably won't. No, I won't. Oh, time to time, I find great joy in walking away from a situation where I was fully involved and questioning myself, could I have handled it some other way? Did I want to handle it some other way? Would I handle it some other way if I had a chance? Not likely. There's a time when you guard your mouth. I'm not talking about your mouth as much as I am mine, but stand up for what's right. Defend those that can't defend themselves. Carry a little bear spray if you're walking out to your truck of an evening, supper time. That's when the little bear and I had our fun time together out front. So listen. God bless you. Oh, December 1st. Listen, if you get a chance, look back. Christmas, in a haul truck. Check that one out, children. It's short. It's not long. And I'd asked God, I said, Father, I'd sure like it if you would allow me the privilege and the honor of praying for my crew. I nearly fell off the seat. Listen to that one. I was pretty impressed with my God. I think you will be too. Hey, God bless. Hey, God bless.